Welcome to another episode of In Conversation with Advisor Coach. Today in conversation, our guest is Miss Saloni Kapadia, Fund Manager, Equity with the Wealth Company Mutual Fund. Welcome, Saloni, to In Conversation with Advisor Coach today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There's so much to talk about, but let's begin with how about you telling us about your investment management journey and experience?
So, I am somebody who's really, really passionate about the equity markets. I come from a family of somebody we are into equity markets. We were discussing in the dining table while growing up. And I have completed 20 years in the professional journey in starting from equity research, investment research in State Bank of India,
Uh-huh.
where I was a part of the investment management team of a prop book of 14,000 crores back in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And there I had experience of multiple sectors. Then I moved on as a foreign institutional investor investing in India. So a
Mm.
Singapore-based entity where I learned investing in India in a multiple sectors I knew, but I understood how to invest in other countries also. So I have that experience also. And from the start of the wealth company NFO FlexiCap, I'm with the wealth company fund management team. So equity is something that runs in my blood. Like it's not work for me. It is a complete passion for me.
Wonderful. So always been on the buy side, or have you been
Yes.
also on the sell side?
Yes. Only buy side.
Only buy side, always the buy side.
Yes.
Wonderful. And you've been part of the Wealth Company Mutual Fund right from the inception time of the first launch of the fund.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent. So, Saloni, the Wealth Company Mutual Fund has launched their new fund offer of the Wealth Company Mid Cap Fund, launched on 15th of July 2026 and closing on 29th of July 2026. So now there are enough mid cap funds as we know in the market, in the
Yes.
industry. So what is the differentiation about the
Mm.
wealth cap company mid cap fund? How would you differentiate this product? If you could just take our viewers in more detail about this fund.
Sure. So So I'll start with the most distinguishing part first, and then I'll give the process of investment. So our peers have become of a certain. I don't want to start with the peers. I'll start with name. We are working to build a concentrated portfolio of 40 to 50 companies.
Okay.
So that is very different from the peers who are following the benchmark, and like 80 to 100 is the average number of stocks in the mid cap portfolio, which is very close to benchmark hugging. So this is what primarily differentiate us. Now I will give in detail the explanation. The first principle that differentiates us is we use the change and the edge method to channel, understand, and evaluate stocks. So the change is C for capable management. H is for basically the management has to be strong, how they react to a particular situation. Everything depends on the management. The credibility, the capability of the management is very critical.
Sure.
Then H is for historical performances, how it gives a trend. It's not representing the future, but it gives a trend. Then A is attractive valuation. So valuations are very important to understand what price to enter, what this thing. So valuations are critical. Then N is for navigating market cycles. So nowadays the market cycles have become very small. So it is
Hmm.
very important to pick it up at the right time.
Correct.
And the G is governance. Like governance is something we really stress upon. And being a small mutual fund, we want a very, very make no mistakes, these kind of mistakes. So that is something very critical. And then E is execution, earnings and execution. So the market is trading. I'm buying a stock at let's say 40 PE, and if it's not able to execute, I am going to question. The earnings are a check of whatever my thesis are is a check. So that
Sure.
is which is the micro factors. Then that is the macro factors, the edge part. So it's a simple. E is for exchange market indicators. D is domestic factors like your GDP rate, RBI data, etc. And then G is a global factors like what मिस्टर ट्रम्प क्या कर रहा है अभी हिंदी थोड़ा भी बोलूं ट्रम्प क्या कर रहा है वॉर क्या चल रहा है बॉन्ड डील्स कैसे है सो दैट इज द जी पार्ट which is external. The last
Hmm.
part is exit and
Hmm. Hmm.
rebalancing. So हम लोग कहीं पे भी जाते हैं, we are like क्या लेना है, what is there to buy? Everybody is recommending. कभी नहीं बोलता कब बेचना है.
कब बेचना है.
So that is something हम लोग ने,
Hmm.
this is something we ignore because we've seen a long-term bull cycle. So when to sell? When the fundamentals that we have bought the stock, जब हम लोग ने जो सोचा है, जो prepare किया है thesis, वो fail जाता है, then you have to stop loss and move.
You're right.
And if it plays out and you don't think potential further, then also you have to remove. And or else कोई अच्छा opportunity और है. So that is the game, when to exit and rebalancing is as important or more important than when to buy, So many people must have bought a certain thing and sold early or did not sell at that price. And, that is the very important part. So this is the process of investment. We have another process in place, which is called the unique investment funnel method.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, where I started the first point. So in that, there are actually 5,000 plus companies in a listed space. In that, we filter out based on certain criteria, which are capital clusters. We removed all those companies which lose capital, liquidity criteria, governance criteria, whatever profitable criteria, and then we come to a smaller universe. This smaller universe, nowadays, we have all these AI tools. So we do the rating of these companies, ranking of these companies, scoring of these companies using AI tools, quantitative analysis, growth analysis, etc., fundamental analysis. And after creating the score, we come down to a very small number of stocks, which is of 40 to 50 companies. Now, 152 companies, and that we use private equity due diligence approach. So that 150 companies is something we track very closely. Now, why I said private equity in a listed space? Because the company, the wealth company fund, mutual fund, is started as a IP for SME IPO listing, then into private equity AIF. So the DNA of the company is private equity. So in private equity, you have to do further diligence. You have to do further equity research. So that because there is no liquidity. So this is the same process we use to shortlist companies. And since you're going, taking a concentrated portfolio, that means you have to do further research to increase your own conviction.
Absolutely.
So that is the thing that differentiates us. And 40 to 50 companies is a good number so that you get the benefits of a diversification. Yet at the same time, you're not exactly copying the benchmark.
True.
And further to that, I would like to say what our unique edge is. Being a smaller mutual fund, we still have a very unique and strong trustee board. And that they are lending their credibility, their name to our fund. So the trustee board and the AMC board is of IAS officers, etc., which are giving their name to us, they are lending their credibility, and it is as good as some of the top mutual funds.
Very true.
So when it comes to money, अगर पैसे की बात है, तो trust बहुत जरूरी है.
Correct.
So that is the first pillar our founder Madhu Madam has built. So Madhu Lunawat is the first woman promoter in this thing, and the first person who in mutual fund space. She's very passionate, and the company has been doing well in the private equity space, in the AIF space, in the PMS space. And this is what she launched, so that the wealth creation can be done through millions,
Absolutely.
So this is the thing which differentiates us, these three points.
Sure. And in fact, of course, managing equity is not something new for your firm, because it's been managing equities for a very, very long time. So basically, the wealth company midcap fund will not have a very long tail, but will be very much concentrated between 40 to 50 odd stocks, right? So from the mandate perspective, of course, 65% you will maintain in midcap. What do you plan to do with the balance 35? Will it be swinging more towards large cap, or will you want to swing it more towards the small cap, etc.?
So as I mentioned, we have an experience of 12 years with the Pantometh Group in, the small cap, mid cap space, in, this kind of, but at the same time, I will be flexible. Wherever my money will be made for my investors, I will move there. I will not hesitate to take, because see, for a larger person with the AUM, he cannot shift to a smaller cap and cannot create that impact. But for
Yes,
me, I can shift to a large cap, mid cap, small cap. So I want to be flexible to where my investors can get the best return at that point of
correct.
time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. So now when it comes to let's say the style of management, of course you did explain, the model through which you will manage. So it will be a mix of growth and momentum per se, largely.
So we are as a group, our my CIO and the investment management team, we are not doing growth or value. So when I look at a company from the growth perspective, also I will look at the valuation.
Right.
I will not ignore it. At the same time, when I look for value picks, I will not
Hmm.
ignore the growth. I
Hmm.
will wait for the earnings growth, or I will look for those parameters which the earnings will click in.
Sure.
So it is a combination, and basically we use both the strategies.
Sure. So it's not simply just momentum chasing, and buying
No,
anything what is looking good
absolutely.
and with the expectation that it'll move up further. Proper valuation, you're comfortable with the valuation as well, and then only probably enter into it.
Yes.
Now, one question which comes to my mind is that there are just 150 stocks defined as the mid cap in the universe, correct?
Mhm.
So much money chasing, these 150 stocks. So
Mhm.
are you comfortable with the valuations of mid caps currently we speak?
Yes. I would like to share that if you do a price to earnings, the valuations are trading at a slight discount to the 5-year average.
Hmm.
So that is the reason why mid cap is trading at this valuation. So it's a comfortable place. And second point I want to share is the earnings growth for the next 2 years is 16 to 17%
Hmm.
expected earning growth versus large cap at 8 to 9% approximately. So this valuation is coming. See, when you अभी कुछ लेते हैं आप तो उसका quality है. So this earnings quality is also very strong. So
Hmm.
that is the reason why mid caps have very very comfortable with the valuations.
Hmm.
And in
Sure.
that also we will be doing stock picking, like I mentioned, 40-50 stocks. So I'd like to add one thing when I'm talking about earnings growth is when I put the all the earnings and I filter it out, I put it sorted. The top 50 companies and the bottom 50 companies, there could be a difference of 20%. So that stock picking also further adds stock
Hmm.
selection. Not necessarily I'll pick up the highest growth. I will look for value and growth in that. So these are some things which give me a certain confidence. Second is the fourth quarter results. If you remove banks in that, the growth came, PAT growth was around 30%
Hmm.
versus even small cap was only 21%. So that is the factor, of the fourth quarter FY26 numbers. Another point I will say, during this period, there was difficulty in raw materials.
Hmm.
There was increase in raw material prices. At that point also, it gained margins by 1.2 to 120 pips. Fourth quarter mid cap stocks. So that shows how the models of these companies are able to pass on the increased cost. That means the businesses are strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very, very comfortable with the valuations of mid cap. There are a lot of other technical indicators which also give me comfort. And yeah, I can further stress on the type of companies, but I think this answers the question.
Sure, sure. You will be looking at also the cash flows for a company when you'll be identifying these bid caps because some of these companies can get towards the, in case of any wrong management or governance issues, etc. And so would you be looking at, how much the cash generation is happening in the business?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like you said, it is not cheap. You are building in the earnings growth. So, I will look at the potential of the earnings and I will look at the quality of the earnings. That is why I
Sure,
mentioned margins, the cash
sure.
flows,
Hmm.
sustainability of the earnings. Some of the
Generating those
stocks,
positive cash
yes.
flows. Yeah.
So, I look for compounders. I don't want to invest for like a short-term trade or something. I'm looking for compounders because the beauty of this index is such that now I'll come back a little bit add to it that it has there are 5,500 companies. It has fought all the way in the small cap base and able to increase its market capitalization by let's
And
say
reach there.
35,000 crores.
Hmm.
So it has already done the groundwork. So those companies have fighted it hard and become a mid cap. It has already
Sure.
fought 5,000 companies, to
Hmm.
be there.
Of course. Of
And only
course.
250 companies are in the large and the mid cap space.
That's true.
So, this is this valuations, this thing will not come unless it is everything in the stock market is ultimately comes to cash flows.
Sure.
Quality of the earnings is also cash flows and how much it is able to grow in the future also.
Sure. Some of the sectors, if you could, highlight which probably this fund will be diversified within these 40, 50 stocks as well, which you'll be creating in the universe.
Yes. So before I start, before we sing, I wanted to share this point that in large cap, there are these stable companies, like let's say banks, pharma, power utility companies, and IT companies. Those all form a part of the large cap space.
Very true.
In the
Yeah.
mid cap space, you get all the emerging themes.
Mm.
So, which I started with they have time and tested companies tried and where they are testing in the small cap space, they take scale in the mid cap space. So you can capture the journey from 35,000 to 1 lakh crore from that journey. So these are all emerging trends. So I'll give some examples before I see what is it, this thing. We are looking as a model to choose for mid cap is challengers.
Sure.
So at the top of the pyramid is a large cap, and at the bottom are the small caps. So the journey you can get. So this mid cap companies are challenging market share from the large cap space. I'll give an example which is very easy. सबको बहुत आसानी से समझ में आएगा. That is, it had zero market share in the F&O space. And the moment it launched, even if they got a small percentage from F&O percentage, the share has been a multi-bagger. So the challenger, how we do this this thing is challenger, versus the large cap, the stable company.
Sure.
So ये का example है सबको समझ में आएगा कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. That is the feedback. But the products are the same. This was a duopoly.
Correct.
So there are just few exchanges. So these are the companies that we are looking for. So currently the emerging trends, let's say your AI data center themes are also part of the mid cap,
Sure.
which like the power capital goods companies. I'm just giving some names, not representing anything, which will benefit from the private capex increase, are also part of the mid cap space. So the auto ancillaries are the part of the mid cap space.
Financial services actually widened quite a bit into mid cap as well now.
Yes.
Absolutely, sure.
So cap good companies are here, versus like the larger cap good companies are not performing as much as the mid cap companies are, not giving that growth in the last few years. So that is some of the examples,
Sure. Tell me, we are
I
in
have
a
more themes if you'd like, if it's time to.
no, so we'll avoid names here.
Themes.
Themes. Okay, yeah, themes, of course. We would love to hear those themes. Please.
Yeah. So for example, jewelry space. The shift from unorganized to organized, that is in the mid cap space.
Sure.
Some of the defense, which I'm seeing one more sector emerging as defense ancillaries. So that kind of themes, So yeah.
So pretty much diversified within the 40,
Yes.
50 stocks, etc. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Tell me, how do you see the markets in the near term, let's say 6 to 12 months? Because there's a lot of things happening around us. Okay. Some in our control, some absolutely not in our control. Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes the uncontrollable damage is the largest. Right.
Yeah.
So how do you believe the markets in the near-term trajectory? Because we all know that, of course, the markets will grow in the long term, et cetera, and there's multiple reasons behind it. But how will the short-term impact look like, and what could be the party pooper in this party spoiler? In terms of the way our equity markets are supposed to take off from here.
Okay, so as I said, I'm very positive on the equity markets. I see 16-17% return every year on a CAGR basis. It has not performed in the last 2 years. That also indicates that it will. The earnings growth are positive. The performance has not been coming. So that is also something which leads to a positive this thing. India as a market has been very two positive points. One is from the domestic part, the mutual fund industry, the cash flows are coming from India. So if you remember at an earlier time when Lehman crisis, etc. happened, India's stock market completely fell. हम लोग जोक करते थे कि यूएस को छीका तो इंडिया में मलेरिया हो गया, that is the joke we used to make. So at this point, domestic cash flows have made the market more resilient to global changes.
Yes.
That is one aspect which is very positive. Second aspect is the debt on India's book, India Inc. as a whole, across market cap is the lowest. So that is the bank's asset qualities also are one of the best. This is also positive. Then now I coming to the government part. We have a stable government, and we also have a government which is investing in, which are focusing on, let's say, manufacturing, focusing on defense, increasing the private capex. So that it will also make to more stability.
Sure.
So the contribution of manufacturing is like, let's say, 15% to the GDP, approximately mid-teens. That will increase around 10%. Atmanirbhar Bharat, PLI schemes, all this we have seen it in action, from 2021 to now, So that is also some of the things I'm making very positive on India right now.
Sure. But if you were to think of it, that oil and the dependency, gold, of course, the way rupee has behaved to the US dollar, we have been the weakest currency, right? So, and let's say if this entire crisis continue in the Western Asia and rupee takes a further beating, so of course we do start importing a lot of inflation, correct? And that is something which is not in our control, correct? And that will, of course, impact the interest rates in our economy, right? So don't you think that will kind of, have a impact on the earning momentum, the earning capacity for these mid-cap companies going ahead and the small cap companies? Because particularly large cap companies, they generally go to the market with their credibility, they're able to borrow the money, right? But generally a mid-cap company goes to the bank to borrow, but won't it affect their earnings growth momentum going ahead? What's your thought on that?
So maybe in the short term, there could be certain volatility, but I'll just say a certain points. With this rupee depreciation, our exports become slightly more attractive.
They do.
Second thing is the FII flows, which has been spoil spot party pooper in your words. That's party spoiler. So that they would become it would be attractive for them to come to Indian markets. So that all flows will come. And I would like to just ask you one question: that Russia-Ukraine war, what is happening? Do we know anything about it?
It will be 5 years in next February.
Yeah, so nobody's following it. It is just going on the side. So these kind of global things, it's not really creating as much as it the real impact is not as much. So we have been able to benefit from the Russia-Ukraine war because of our diplomatic relations. We are building a more resilient India in the micro factors. The macro factors in India are positive. So these are the valuations, the rupee falling down, making it very attractive, nifty in terms of dollars to them. For instance, we have done the FCNR. So all these things are leading towards positive positive movement.
Sure.
And we have a saying in Gujarati that good news and good markets will never be together. So March end, we had launched the small cap fund. And we had the toughest time launching the small cap fund because it was peak war, news. Everybody was going crazy. Every day there was some news. And that has already given some 15% return.
Oh, lovely.
So, good news and good markets never go in place. But I'm saying on a structural basis, India is very well working on the renewable energy investments, whatever it can do in its power, diplomatic relations, stable government, all these things are more positive.
Sure.
Fundamentally creating a more structurally strong India.
Sure. And of course, these are the the good macros will define the micros as well, always.
Yes, yes.
So, an extension of this question and the wonderfully way you spoke about the markets is that typically when an investor is taking an exposure in your the wealth company mid-cap fund, what kind of investor, you would suggest to, you know, take fund of this sort, and how long would you suggest someone to be staying invested in a product like this?
So minimum investment horizon has to be 3 to 5 years.
Sure.
Any equity, any of our equity products, you have to be 3 to 5 years. Longer term, people only make money in equity products. So that is my second question I answered first. What kind of investors? See, I think not a first time investor. Somebody who already has a portfolio should go for mid and small cap. So somewhere in between, somebody is who's just starting, has already started his journey in equity investments, should go for a mid cap of this.
Sure.
This is my this thing. And a new, if I don't know, the question is not that a new investor should go for a hybrid kind of a thing, then move to flexi. This is my understanding, but it all depends on the person.
Absolutely. The risk profiling, etc.
Yeah. So I suggested for my niece, that instead of one of the, I'm not naming the other fund, instead of that, go for a mid cap fund, because long term, mid cap index has outperformed large cap, mid cap across all time cycles. And if I was seeing the 14-year data from January 12 to January 2026, if you put the money, your money would have been 14 times mid cap index.
Oh,
And small cap would be 10 times and large cap would be 7 times.
14.
So as a kid, you have that studies, 15, 16-year period.
Yes,
So
yes,
I said,
yes.
you do the SIP in that, mid cap. This is what I advise my brother for that. This is a very good longer term investment. The probability of making mistakes are very low by fund managers. 150 companies chosen beautifully by the nature of the index.
Sure, sure, sure.
So this is what I would really recommend specifically to one example, but it all depends on a specific needs of the person.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wonderful. So that brings me to my last question, Saloni, that through this in conversation today, what message would you like to give to all the viewers, advisors, mutual fund distributors, investors about the wealth company, midcap fund, NFO in particular?
Yes. So the Wealth Company is founded by a woman promoter, the first promoter, very passionate in this business. Another thing unique about our company is we are we support distributors very significantly as a route, and that is very very strong business presence. We've also done a lot of asset management. Through 10,000 crores approximately is the AIF book. Around 2,000 crores is the PMS through Asitsi Mehta. Asitsi Mehta is a 45-year-old group. So that is also owned under the umbrella of the Pantomet Group. So this company is very, very strong. We have a strong trustee group and we have a strong, now that is the group strength. We have a strong investment process and where we give a very concentrated portfolio. Till we can, we will take complete advantage of our small size, making the portfolio very agile. And from now, abhi se kaise paisa banna hai, that is something that they will get from this new NFO. So, and mid cap as a category has been an outperformer. 5-year rolling return low, 7 saal ka rolling return low, it has been beating across large cap. So, it's a very attractive space. So that is why, these are the salient features of our mid cap fund.
Wonderful. I love the passion. Wonderful. So, well, for our viewers, this is Miss Saloni Kapadia, Fund Manager Equities with the Wealth Company Mutual Fund, talking about their new fund offer, the Wealth Company Mid Cap Fund, opened on 15th of July and closing on the 29th July 2026. Saloni, thank you very, very much for joining in today and taking us through all these questions. I'm sure there's a lot of action for you to do in terms of going to the market. New fund offer is always a very, very, times when we travel a lot and do a lot of these road shows, etc. So wishing you very, very best and thank you so much for joining in today.
Thank you for this opportunity. It was wonderful to talk to you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure. And I would like to remind our viewers to please press that like and subscription button to continue receiving these wonderful podcasts through Advisor Coach. Thank you so much, Saloni. Have a good day.
Thank you. Best of
Thank
luck.
thank you.